Shalom, shalom. All praises to the Most High. We're going to start in just one moment. Akim wa akwatim. All praises to the Most High. Shalom, Dante. We're going to start in about 2 minutes. I got a few precepts for y'all. And, Lord willing, like I said, it's edifying as usual. Easy. Like and share the video, Baba Kushah. All praise to the Most High. Shalom, Ecclesiastes. Yeah, we can answer some questions. I'm gonna get to the lesson first. Give me 1 second. Like and share the video, Baba Kushah. All right, ladies and gents, we're going to start right now. Let me pull this up. I got some scriptures already pre-set up, I think this is it. Yep, cool. As you can see by the title of this lesson, do we have a choice really? And that ties into, the free will aspect. Everybody, as far as a Christian perspective, and just anybody's ideology that walks the earth, think they make their own choices and free will, and things happen, at their own pace, things like that. But we, as Israelites, well, most Israelites, in reference to the doctrine that we hold, SICARII, we don't. I can only speak for SICARII. We don't hold to the doctrine of free will. We can do whatever we want as we please. We can go to the Father. We can, receive salvation. We can already be saved, that type of thing. Or we can, do things, like I said, just when we choose to do it. Like I can turn my back on God if he wants to choose me. That's not how it works. So we'll get into some precepts on that. Matter of fact, I don't have a couple precepts that I want already, but let's just start here and I'll fill them in as I go through the Spirit. So the questions definitely going to be answered at the end of this lesson. And if you have any questions on what I bring out, that's fine as well. So let's just start from the top. Isaiah 46:10, declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient times the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand and I will do all my pleasure. Now, this is the prophet Isaiah speaking in the Spirit by the Most High Yahweh, saying what? I'm going to do all my pleasure. My counsel shall stand. Everything I jot down, thus saith the Most High, will happen in my time frame as it is written. Everything that I ordained was destined from the beginning, before time, before anything was set in motion, before the creation. Everything that the Most High got set up for our individual lives, whether it's as a nation, your family, whatever the case may be, coming into the truth was already predestined by the Most High, along with your destiny as far as being, a 2/3 or 1/3, having a prosperous life or a life of, struggle. All that stuff is already predestined. And obviously the Most High can see fit to have it change at any given time. Obviously, we don't think it's something that's, like people hit the lottery or, get some type of new knowledge and obviously become successful in business or cryptocurrencies or things like that. It was already in the Most High's plan, even though in our thought process in our life, we think it's, oh man, I'm coming up now. I'm getting better. I'm growing as a person. Like it was already predestined. Because like I said, the Most High already put it in his prophecies that his counsel still saying he's going to do his own pleasure. Let's keep going to prove this in reference to the prophets in the Old Testament. There is no free will. Jeremiah 10:23. I know that the way of man is not in himself. So what is that referencing? The way of man, all your steps, everything that you want to do is not in yourself. It is not in man that walketh to direct his steps. So if I go outside my door, obviously there's a Shalom Quayan. If I walk outside my door, make a right, go to my car, there's a couple directions I can drive. I can make a right, I can make a left in reference to where I live at. But guess what? The Most already knows what direction I'm going to go. Even I already have it in my plan. I'm going to go to the store. I already know what store I'm going to go to. But like I said, there might be another route to get there, But the Most already directed things work in our lives in reference to just daily decisions, whether it's something you want to eat, who you want to talk to as far as, relationship, everything that works out in our life is for the Most High. And whatever doesn't work out is obviously ordained by the Most High as well. It says, it's like the next verse, Psalms 37:23. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delighteth in his way. So does this mean that the steps of a bad man aren't ordered by the Most High? No, but it's singling out this aspect because if you're already ordained to be good in reference to the Most High standard, which is keeping the laws of God, being wholly separate from everybody else, the Most High is going to order your steps and make sure you follow on that narrow path, as Yahweh says, to righteousness. and he delighteth in his way. So the Most High is going to delight in your way because he's going to allow you to find the truth in this context and do what's pleasing in his sight. That's what it's referencing. All praise to the Most High, Dante. There's definitely no escaping the curses. The only reason why we're going to escape the curses is when Yahushua comes back and gets us out of America, outside of the destruction of this place. So it's all going to be in the Most High's time. And like I said, we just got to do our part, and continue to raise the elect up, be fruitful, and multiply if you have kids, and obviously spread his knowledge. The next chapter, or next verse, Proverbs 16:9. A man's heart devises his way, but the Lord directed his steps. Period. That's a similar precept that we brought out earlier about the man's the way of man is not in himself. Why? Because the Most High directed his steps. Period. We might think of going to McDonald's or Burger King, but guess what? There's a Wendy's a little bit further down. I'm gonna go hit Wendy's up. That was a decision the Most High already planned in our minds, in our subconscious, in our spirit. Simple as that. The Most High direct our steps to go anywhere and everywhere, cross paths with people that have benefit us, or put us on a different path as far as learn the lesson. Might come with a little bit of challenges, turmoil, things like that, but the Most High allowed it for you to grow spiritually, emotionally, physically over time, in His time. Let's see here. The next verse is a popular one, Proverbs 20:24. Man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own way? That's a powerful precept. Because sometimes people, do certain things. They go out and about. They want to go to school. They want to apply for a certain position. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But then they might meet certain people. They might do certain things, whether it's negative or positive. And obviously, if it's a negative and it comes out into a negative resolution or equation, you think back in your own mind, like, damn, why did I do that? Like, why the hell did I trust that person? Why the hell did I, spend money on this when I didn't have to? Like, why did I do this? That's just something that we consciously do when something doesn't work out for us. But guess who knew about it already? The Most High Yahweh. It's a very simple concept, but just at our carnal mind, our carnal level, when it also says, let me see, Isaiah 55:11. And this is another powerful precept. That's 55:8. Slot. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith Yahweh. The Most High's thoughts are not our thoughts. So, like I said, He already knows what's going to happen. And a simple Christian be like, oh, we can do whatever we want. We can come to Christ as we please. Like, no, you can't. Even though heathens believe in Christ and things like that, thinking they're saved, Most High put it in their brain that they think they're saved. Doesn't mean it's going to escape the judgments coming to them in the future in the kingdom, being a slave, being subjugated. And if you're Edomite, they don't know they're going to get slaughtered and exterminated. There's Edomites that believe in Christ right now. Does that change the prophecy? Of course not. A simple Christian would think that to themselves, oh, I can escape judgment because I believe in Christ. Whosoever believes in Him is going to be saved. Like, no, that's not how it works. There's already predestination. Most already planned this thing out. And who are we to go against the grain? We're going to bring out some precepts in reference to that same ideology. Let's go to the next one. Actually, I think I skipped. I didn't skip one. I just didn't add it. But let me go here. Job 33. And I believe it's 15. Let me see if I can share this part of my screen. Actually, 1 second. This is another precept I forgot to add on the actual list, but Job 33:15. Exactly, Quinn. Everything happens for a reason. Like I said, the Most High allows things to happen. People die in your life you don't expect. Like, damn, like a long time ago, what was it, like 2000, maybe 2013, maybe 2012? Young guy I knew, dear family friend, young cat. I think it was 24, 25 at the time. Died of like a heart condition. Dropped dead at his doorstep. Crazy. I'm like, damn, like that hurt me to the core. Like, I was one of my friends, like one of my best friends. And I was like, damn, like why'd that happen? Obviously, I'm right out of high school, a few years after high school. I'm thinking to myself, like, man, he died super young. Like, that's crazy. Now, knowing what I know now is like, Most High control everything. That family went through pain. I went through pain. Obviously, not as much as them because that's their blood. But it was like, man, like that's a cold blooded thing to experience. Just imagine, a baby dying, like I said, at birth, or getting hit by a car, getting kidnapped, and mutilated, and all that type of stuff you see in movies. Like that happens in real life because we know art imitates life, as they say. Life happens, and obviously it's reality for some people. Some people are secluded from certain hardships because they have money or live away from things and things like that. But obviously, the entertainment aspect, you see all types of madness and buffoonery on movies and TV shows. But it also happens in real life because that's where they're getting it from. Somebody's story that was told, or somebody witnessed something that was happening in their livelihood, and it just manifests in a negative fashion because it affected them negatively, and they perceived it negatively. But let me read this slide. Job 33:15. I'm going to read a few verses. In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men, then slumberings upon the bed, like when you sleep, having a dream, then he openeth the ears of men and sealeth their instruction, that he may withdraw man from his purpose and hide pride from man. He keep it. Slide. That's all I wanted. So it says that when deep sleep fall upon men, the slumbers upon the bed, he opened up his ears and sealed their instructions. The Most High sealed the instructions of people while they sleep, in their dreams, subconsciously, whatever the case may be, so them to wake up and perform the Most High's will, whether it's for them to not just Israelites, just anything. People have instructions of the Most High from heathens, for them to do certain things to help an Israelite, chastise an Israelite, whatever the case may be, give it an Israelite wisdom, and vice versa. There's definitely people that Israelites assist in reference to, just being nice to them. Like I said, I can hold the door open for a heathen. I can pick up something off the ground for them. Anything. Tell them the right directions. Like, that's not a sin. Like, that's not going to affect me. I don't have to go around harboring so much emotional hatred for other heathens that it affects my livelihood and my peace of mind. Like, I don't care about them. But I'm not here to, do them dirty. Like, it's simple just to tell them, okay, do this, this, and this. And they can do vice versa for me because I need help sometimes from different people that maybe are in arm's reach and they're shot. Calling a hotline or customer service, like all that type of stuff. That's just simple things you can do. I'm not saying, like I said, you got to trust them or love them. And obviously, if they believe in the Bible, there's an aspect to, to teach them a little bit. You can go into whatever and confront them and combat them, in the peaceable dialogue. Like, everybody's used to, the quote unquote camps is yelling and screaming on the corner, but there's definitely peaceable dialogues that are had and understandings given whether they agree with us or not, and vice versa. So let's keep going. Another precept. Man, that's crazy. Yeah, man. Like I said, one of my friends I used to work with, her sister passed away not that long ago. So it's all the Most High's plan. Like I said, it sucks to witness because, like I said, it's heartfelt. It's like, damn, like they gone. It was a terrible accident, but the Most High already had it on his checklist. Millions of people die every day, or not every day, but every year. And like I said, the Most High is the author. It has every issue of death written down. But let's see. Psalms 90:9. For all our days are passed away in thy wrath. Talking the Most High's wrath. We spend our years as a tale that is told. What does that sound like? That sounds like we're in the Most High's movie. He's the director. We're the actors, man. We're the quote unquote droids, predestined to do whatever the Most High got for us in His plans. It's not that hard. It's not that far fetched to see it in the Bible. But a silly Christian will think, oh, well, I can just pray for somebody and speak in tongues and cast out a demon. Like what? Like what are you talking about? The Most High still can put that man to death the very next day. Like that don't mean nothing. And they think, oh, I'm saved. Like okay, well if you're saved, like why do people still go through hardships? I mean, even though the Bible does say people are going to be chastised for the for Christ's sake and would not be hated for His sake, but they ain't talking about no damn heathen because they don't teach the truth of Christ. People that's teaching the truth are speaking an unadulterated truth, not the God loves everybody doctrine. Because people don't hate Christians that say God loves everybody because that's what they want to hear. It's feel good. They hate the Israelites. They call us terrorists. They call us people that are basically setting people up for destruction for following us. But guess what? Christianity's been around for over 1,000 years, and the world's been in nothing but shambles. So the true gospel is being spoken by the Israelites in a rapid rate. People are leaving the Christian church, waking up to this truth. Obviously there's still OT only Israelites that believe they're Israelites, but that's not necessarily the end all be all because they already set up to be have that stumbling block of offense for Yahweh, which I think it is an idol, things like that. They know there is light still, but that's the final piece of the puzzle. Believe in who the world calls Christ, who the Most High sent, who was created in the foundation of Europe. So they try to cut off half of the book because of something they believe in, even though, like I said, we believe in everything in the Bible, front and back. They try to cut off most of the doctrine and most of the teachings because it was written in Greek. But guess what? You're reading English now, right? You speak English. Some people speak Spanish. Some people speak, all type of different languages. Does that mean, the Hebrew or the Greek is off now because you don't understand it, or you think a heathen wrote it? Like, no. We don't have any type of mechanisms to print books. So who printed the books? The Most High allowed, most of the transcripts to be translated by Israelites and heathens, but we have no choice. All we got to do is understand it, and the Holy Spirit going to lead us along the way, which is given by the Most High through His Son. So let's keep going. Now, this is how you know people try to say, oh, well, Israel had a choice. You guys fell away, but the Most High already ordained that we were going to fall away back in the law. Let's read here. Deuteronomy 30 and 15. I'm going to read down to 19. See, I have set before thee this day life and good and death and evil. So like you go to a dinner, there's multiple plates. There's some on the right-hand side, some on the left-hand side. The right-hand side is life and good. The left-hand side, death and evil. It's making it seem like you have a choice. In that I command thee this day to love the Lord thy God, to walk in his ways, and to keep his commandments and his statutes and his judgments, that thou mayest live and multiply. And the Lord thy God shall bless thee in the land whither thou goest to possess it. But if thine heart turn away, so that thou wilt not hear, but shall be drawn away and worship other gods and serve them, I denounce unto you this day that ye shall surely perish, and that ye shall not prolong your days upon the land, whether thou passest over Jordan to go to possess it. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live. So the Most High is saying there's two paths you can walk down: life and good, death and evil. Choose life. He's telling us, hey, you're telling it through Moses, obviously. Choose life, but it's already prophesied. Guess what? Earlier in the book, what's going to happen? Let me go here. Deuteronomy 30 from the top. Let's go to the top. So he's telling us a little bit later on in the chapter to choose life, but let's see what happens at the beginning of the chapter. I don't know why I didn't have this written down, but it's all good. Deuteronomy 30 and 1. And it shall come to pass when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse. Wait a minute. So the Most High, it says the blessing and the curse is going to come upon us regardless. So he's telling us in Deuteronomy 28 that we're going to go through all these curses if we don't keep the laws of God. But the Most High already put it 2 chapters later that we're already going to be cursed. We're already predestined to be cursed. So he's already set in motion that we're going to stray away, follow false gods, all that type of stuff. The same thing that he wrote in verse 15 to 19, which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations where the Lord thy God have driven thee. So it's already prophesied that we're going to be cursed and be scattered to every nation. That's what it's referencing. So how is there free will? How did the Israelites have free will to choose what they wanted to do when the Moses already said we were going to be scattered, cursed, and we're going to call the laws to mind, or excuse me, the blessing and the curse to mind, whether we go, basically where we go into all nations as far as being captives. It's right there in the Bible. It's the first verse. There's no free will here. We didn't have a choice in this. Let's keep reading. And shall return to the Lord thy God, and shall obey his voice according to all that I command thee this day, thou and thy children with all thine heart and with all thy soul, that then the Lord thy God will turn thy captivity, meaning take us out of captivity, and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all the nations where the Lord thy God have scattered thee. That's what it's talking about. He already ordained we were going to be scattered to all nations. This is before we went to the land of Israel. This is before we conquered Canaan. So what do you mean we have free will? The Most High already ordained that we were going to be scattered, cursed as a nation. So whether it was 3,000 years ago, 1,000 years ago, 500 years ago, last year, whatever the case may be, the nation of Israel is going to be scattered until the Most High gathers us out of all nations. It hasn't happened yet, but Lord willing to happen soon. When we get up out of this captivity in Babylon the Great, and obviously all the other Israelites scattered abroad. It all depends on the sealing of the elect, and we can get to that in a second as well, because the elect's been sealed from the beginning too. So let me start back here. Here we go. We are at the next verse, Isaiah 63 and 17. Matter of fact, I think I skipped one. Let me see. Yeah, I did skip one, but it's all good. I'll read it in a second. Matter of fact, I'm going to read it now. Ecclesiastes 15. And let's read verse. Wait, I can't even see this. My bad. I'm tripping. Let me go here. Sirach 15. And start at 11. Say not thou, it is through the Lord that I fell away, for thou oughtest not to do the things that he hateth. So it's saying what? Don't say the Most High led you astray. Now this is obviously the author writing this and giving a perspective from his point of view. And you can read this and be like, okay, well, the Most High don't control all things. He doesn't, cause people to err or, allow people to willfully sin, because it says he didn't command anybody to willfully sin, which is true. But he did set the stage from the foundation of the earth for things to unfold how he sees fit. Say not thou, he hath caused me to err. Same thing I just referenced. For he have no need of the sinful man. Of course he doesn't have no need for the sinful man. But just like the other verse I just read, he set before us life and death, good and evil. He wants to choose life. But like I said in verse 1 of that same chapter, he already said we're going to be cursed and we're going to be cursed and blessed. And wherever we're scattered to, we're going to think about those curses and blessings. Meaning what? He already ordained us to go off and things like that of that nature. Let's read. Keep reading. He himself made man from the beginning and left him in the hand of his counsel. So what does that mean? If we're in the hand of the Most High counsel, meaning we can't do whatever we want. He already has us in his hand, guiding us like a chess piece. Guiding us like an action figure, if you will, as a kid. Everybody had action figures. Everybody had, stuffed animals in a sense. You know, that's just common sense that the Most High is in control of everything. He's not a sovereign deity allowing chaos to happen that he can't control. It doesn't make any sense. There's no fallen angel. There's no spiritual demon Satan that's doing whatever he wants without the Most High, knowing about it, watching his back, like he got to worry about his own creation. That doesn't make any sense. So let me go back here. Let me jump to 16. He have set fire and water before thee. What's the fire and water? You can reference the first and second death. Because obviously the water was the first death, fire is the second death. Stretch forth thy hand unto whether thou wilt. Meaning what? Choose which one you want. The affliction, which can obviously be a correlation with fire as well, the furnace of affliction, or the water, the washing of water by the word, being transformed by the information, the scriptures and the wisdom that obviously references the New Testament. You can take it in that perspective. Most High says, stretch forth the hand unto whether thou wilt. Before man is life and death, and whether him liketh shall be given to him. Meaning what? Whether you like, you're going to be given whatever actions you play out, that's what you're going to have, life or death. But like I said, the Most High already set your path because man's going to the Lord. That's all the precepts I read earlier. Now, let's go back to the main scriptures that I have written out, or on this blue letter. Okay. Isaiah 63 and 17. Exactly, Keon. We got the scripture. We got the Most High's playbook for the most part. Obviously he didn't put everything in the playbook, but we got the gist of his end time prophecy, so it's all good. 1 second. Isaiah 63 and 17. O Yahweh, why hast thou made us to err from thy ways? This is Isaiah. And harden our heart from thy fear. Return for thy servant's sake the tribes of thy inheritance. Meaning what? Most High allowed us to go off, sin, do that type of stuff. Did he command us to do it? Of course not. Did he already set it up that way from the foundation of the world? Yes. But guess what? He still, quote unquote, gave us the illusion of choice, choosing life, choosing good, following the ways of the laws, statutes, and commandments. But like I said, he already set it up from the foundation of the world. That's why there's other prophecies that saying he's going to gather us from all nations. He's going to give us a fleshy heart, obviously to keep the law perfectly and be holy as he commanded us to be. But does that mean that we're going to just be going off for the rest of our lives? We have no choice in the matter. We don't have choice, but like I said, the Most High is allowing things to play out in his timing just to teach us a lesson as his chosen people, be that example, whether it's a good or bad example. But at the end of the day, we were chosen to be his chosen people, and we're going to be a light to the Gentiles in the time frame the Most High allows, which is in the kingdom when we're in rulership again. Let's keep going, because it's like I said, there's two sides to every coin. Let's see. Proverbs 16 and 4. The Lord, Yahweh, have made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. Meaning what? People that have already created for wickedness to do evil, and obviously they're going to be doing wickedness all up to the time of judgment day, period. So they can be judged for their deeds. That's how it works. That's just a simple concept as well. So the Most High, like I said, has plans for the good to have them on the path. And like I said, he said people that are evil to have on their path. 1 second. Shalom, Deli. Like and share the video, Bob Kashaw, if you haven't already. Like I said, this is a semi-new, thing I'm doing every Thursday, late night love edition. This is our 9th installment, as you can see. But like I said, we're definitely trying to get this word out and this message out, edification out. Obviously, any questions people have, we can say that for the end. So it's all good. Let's see here. Daniel 4:17, another aspect of no free will when it comes to other kingdoms and rulerships of the earth. Daniel 4:17, this matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand of the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men and giveth it to whoever he will, and setting up over it the bases of men. Meaning what? The Most High sets up rulers, sets up kings, sets up dictators, sets up, parliament, as they say in, the Europe. What's the dude's name? A prime minister, like he said out there, and all them different countries that have different titles, but it's all people that are set up in power. America was set up as a power. We can get that in a second. But guess what? He says he sets up over the bases of men. The bases of men are people that aren't supposed to be ruling, but they still rule, like these damn Edomites in America. Why are they ruling? Because the Israelites aren't ruling. The Israelites are the righteous rulers of the world, because the world was created for our sake, as is written in 2nd Esdras. Let's see. And this is another precept in reference to that same context, in reference to this kingdoms and power and things like that. Excuse me. Well, Job 12:23. He increaseth the nations and destroyeth them. He enlargeth the nations and straighteneth them again. Meaning what? He allows nations to rise up, take over, and then he destroys them with other nations. He enlarges them, like I said, expands their land. Gives them certain, not necessarily weapons of war, but basically different tools to sustain themselves. And then what? And he straightens them again. Meaning what? He strips them of their power, strips them of their livelihood, things like that. The Most High is in control of all of that. Why? Because he's sovereign and he controls when and what happens throughout the earth. People can't get around it, man. No free will with the heathens. No free will with Israelites. The Most High is in control of everything moving. That's pretty much how it works. Let's go to more precepts. It's a lot. Romans 9:19. Thou wilt say then unto me, why doth he yet find fault? For who have resisted his will? The will of who? The Most High Yahweh. Who resisted the Most High's will? Nobody. Because everybody's under his thumb. He can put a plug on anybody. Have somebody die in their sleep, die of a heart attack, die of an allergy, shot by a stray bullet, all that type of stuff. Get poisoned. Like I said, I say this all the time for the most part. Most High is in control of all issues of death. Nay, but, oh man, who art thou that replies against God? Who replies against God? Like, what are you doing to me? Like, why is this happening to me? Like that. Everybody asks some type of questions. The Most High is playing, like I said, because I gotta be in the spirit. Okay, well, what did I do? Like, what did the Most High allow to happen for me to start going through affliction in a sense? Because obviously I've been in the truth 5 years, I believe, and it's still hardships going on every day. Like, damn, when's it gonna change? When are we gonna get out of this wreck per se? Obviously I'm not stressed out all the time, but it's like, man, I gotta really, figure this thing on out. And obviously it's up to the Most High to allow me to have a breakthrough and open doors and, do things like that. But at the same time, I trust him and I have faith that ultimately the ultimate goal for me, as far as my personal walk, is to maintain in this truth and have the Holy Spirit, be able to teach and, do things properly and stay in the Most High's love by keeping His commandments. But let's keep reading. Who art thou that replies against God? Shall the thing formed say unto him that formed it, why hast thou made me thus? Like, why did you make me evil? Why you making me doing all these wicked deeds? That's what people try to say, in the Christian church, like, oh, I can't control it. I have sin living in me. Like, no, like the Most High allowed it to happen. Have not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor? This is in reference to who? Jacob and Esau, as you read earlier in this chapter. What if God, willing to show his wrath and make his power known, endured with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction? Meaning what? There's people that were predestined, fitted to destruction, to be destroyed, no matter what they do in their own lives, period. The Most High is not playing. He set people up for destruction. He set people up to go down at a hard fall, mainly America in these last days. America, the powerhouse of the world, can go anywhere with their military and infiltrate governments, kill people, bomb people, starve people out, have blockades and embargoes and things like that. It's all going to happen because the Most High allowed it to happen. Let's keep going. And that he might make he might make known the riches of his glory on the vessels of mercy, which he have afore prepared unto his glory. Meaning what? He prepared people unto his glory. He prepared the elect in 1/3 to be redeemed before, obviously, the 2/3 to be redeemed. But like I said, he says he afore prepared unto glory. He prepared them in the spiritual realm to live out that type of lifestyle in their flesh, in their vessel. Because the Most High, like I said from the beginning, he wrote the end from the beginning. And there's nothing that goes unnoticed, nothing that goes, without the Most High, his approval, whether it's good or bad, you see? Let's keep going. We are at First Kings 19 and 18. This is in reference to the precept we just read, talking about he prepared people forward to glory. First Kings 19 and 18. Yet I have left me 7,000 in Israel, all the knees which have not bowed unto Baal, and every mouth which have not kissed him. Meaning what? These people back in this time frame, the bulk of the nation of Israel was sinning, going in idolatry, not caring about the law, trying to look to the heathens and see that they're doing other things. They want to be like them, looky-loos. Obviously, we know the number 7 or 7,000 in this context means a complete number of people, a complete number of Israelites didn't go into idolatry, didn't serve Baal, didn't kiss him, didn't, like I said, in Daniel as well, where we weren't allowed to serve the Most High or pray. The Most High already said, like I said, he kept 7,000 men in Israel. Like I said, there's always going to be a righteous remnant of 1/3 that's never going to conform to the image of the beast or whatever ideologies at that time, whether it's 2,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago, or today. There's always going to be a remnant of people that aren't going to succumb to this white man's ideology in America, since we're familiar with this captivity. And this is another precept to show that same exact thing. Paul wrote to the saints, quote unquote. We all know the saints are Israelites in Ephesus, and let's see what he wrote to them in the first chapter, the first few verses. Ephesians 1:1. Paul, an apostle of Yahushua HaMashiach, by the will of Yahweh, to the saints which are at Ephesus, and to the faithful and HaMashiach Yahushua, grace be to you and peace from God our Father and from the Lord Yahushua HaMashiach. Blessed be the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, who hath blessed us with all spiritual blessings in heavenly places in Hamashiach, according as he hath chosen us in him before the foundation of the world. He chose the people, the saints, before the foundation of the world, before they even were created. He chose the saints to be conform to the image of Yahushua. I actually have that written down a little bit lower, but I'll read it after this actually. Where am I at? Verse 4, according as he hath chosen us in him before the foundation of the world. So it was already predestined for these people to be conformed to who the world calls Christ, that we should be holy and without blame before him in love, period. That's what the elect are going to be deemed. The elect are going to be without spot and blemish, without guile. We're going to get that in the next verse I got written down here if you haven't read it yet. Having predestined us into the adoption of children by Yahushua HaMashiach to himself according to the good pleasure of his will. Whose will? The Most High's will. People already predestined from the foundation of the world, just like the Most High predestined us to going through blessings and curses and be scattered. He already predestined people, no matter where they are, whatever lifespan they're in, especially like I said in these days, people are going to find this truth and be conformed and predestined to Hamashiach Yahushua to believe in him and follow with this walk and do the will of the Most High, period. That's what it's talking about. So there is no free will, man. It's pretty basic. I don't want to say it's pretty basic, but it's simple to understand this context and this concept, when you read all these precepts. And like I said, just carnally speaking, like I said, we can think we have our own thoughts and our own decisions, but like I said, everything happens for the Most High's plan, whether it's good or bad, to teach you a lesson later down the line, or, it said to have you happy in the right spirit and have that peace of mind in certain relationships and jobs and things like that. Let's read Revelation 14, 1-5, in reference to, quote unquote, what is read in reference to, what does it say? He has chosen us and him before the foundation of the world. Let's read this. And I looked, and lo, a lamb, talking about Yahushua, stood on the Mount Zion, and with him 144,000. The elect is with Yahushua, having his father's name written in their foreheads, meaning what? The elect already going to have the name of Yahweh written in the forehead, sealed. This is a spiritual seal, obviously. Just like it says in a matter of fact, let me get that precept. I don't want to jump the gun, but this is just sitting in my spirit right now. Ezekiel 4 and so like Ezekiel 9 and 4. So like I'm always dyslexic with the scriptures sometimes, but let's read this. Ezekiel 9 and 4. Salat. Let me show this on my screen. Ezekiel 9 and 4. Salat. Let me see. Am I sharing my screen? Oh yeah, here we go. Ezekiel 9 and 4. And Yahweh said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. Who is this talking about? People that are preaching against wickedness and idolatry, mainly the Israelites. Talking about the prophets for the most part. Set a mark upon them. What's that mark? Let's go to the Hebrew here. Set a mark. A mark. And this is in relation to Revelation 14 I just read. Mark, meaning what? Desire. So let me read the Hebrew. H8420. Tov. Desire or mark. Mark as a sign of exemption from judgment. So when you go back here, go back to Revelation, Salat. Revelation 14. Let's go back here. Salat. And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood upon Mount Zion, with him 144,000, having his father's name written in their foreheads. Meaning what? There's already a seal, a mark that's going to be in their foreheads from the Most High to believe in who will cause Christ, to basically follow the ways of the Most High that was already destined to do. And let's keep reading. It's going to get more specific. And I heard a voice from heaven as a voice of many waters, and as a voice of a great thunder. And I heard the voice of harpers harping with their harps, and they sung as it were a new song before the throne and before the four beasts and the elders. And no man could learn that song but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth. These are they which were not defiled with women. You actually silly Christianness, they think it's talking about virgins. No, it's talking about being succumbed to different doctrines. Because women, I'm gonna just make it up. Let me just go here. Proverbs 9. Let's just read this. So let's just read this about wisdom, because wisdom is compared to a woman as well. So this is what it's talking about. It says what? These are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. Let's go here. Proverbs 9. Share my screen for this one. Proverbs 9. Let's see. If you're not defiled with women, what is that referencing? Let's go here. Proverbs 9:1. Wisdom hath builded her house. She have hewn out her 7 pillars. She have killed her beasts. She have mingled her wine. She have also furnished her table. So wisdom's known to be a woman in this context. She have sent forth her maiden. She crieth upon the highest places of the city. Just like it says in Proverbs 1:22, wisdom cried without in the chief place of concourse. That's where we on the street corners all the time. That's the chief place of concourse where everybody's walking and talking and seeing us. Whoso is simple, let him turn in hither. As for him that wanteth understanding, she saith to him, come, eat of my bread and drink of the wine which I have mingled. Forsake the foolish and live, and go not in the way, and go in the way of understanding. Let's see. Actually, let me go to Proverbs 7. Actually, 7. It got to be 7. So that's a good start though, because it's referencing wisdom being a woman, and like I said, it's also going to be compared to a strange woman too. Look, let's see this. Proverbs 7. My son, keep my words and lay my commandments with thee. Keep my commandments and live. Same thing it says in Deuteronomy. And my law as the apple of thine eye. So fall in love with the law. That's what it's talking about. Keep that focus on the law. Bind them upon thy fingers, write them upon the table of thine heart. Spiritually, have it in your mind all the time. Say unto wisdom, thou art my sister, and call understanding thy kinswoman. So it's referencing wisdom as a woman again. But guess what? Verse 5. That they may keep thee from a strange woman, from the stranger with flattereth with her words. So wisdom can be compared to a woman, and false doctrine can be compared to a woman as well. For at the window of my house I looked through my casement, and behold, amongst the simple ones I discerned among the youths a young man void of understanding. So somebody doesn't have understanding, doesn't keep the laws of God. Let's keep reading. Passing through the street near her corner, and he went the way to her house. So he followed this wicked woman, this woman that's estranged to you, that flatters with her words. She's spitting game to you. She's giving up the box easily, like they call it. She's a thought, That's what it's talking about. Guess what happens? In the twilight, in the evening, in a black and dark night, and behold, there met him a woman with the attire of an harlot. So this is a hoe. This is somebody that's going to steer you astray. And subtle of heart. She's basically sneaky in this sense. That's what it means to be subtle. She is loud and stubborn. Her feet abide not in her house. We use that to represent, obviously, people that women that are loud and obnoxious in the streets. But this is ultimately talking about somebody that's going to lead you astray. Now is she without, now in the streets, and lieth in wait at every corner. So there's wickedness at every corner to steer you off from keeping the laws of God. So she caught him and kissed him, and with an impudent face said to him, I have peace offerings with me. This day I have paid my vows. Meaning what? She got something to give him. Therefore came I forth to meet thee, diligently to seek thy face, and I have found thee. I've been waiting for you all my life, buddy. I love you. I have decked my bed with coverings of tapestry, with carved works and fine linen of Egypt. I have perfumed my bed with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon. Come, let us take our fill of love into the morning. Let us solace ourselves with loves. Meaning what? She wants to make love to you. That's not necessarily having to do with physical sense, but it can be compared with physical sense, because there's also fast women that out there is letting every nigga hit. And guess what? You can get her pregnant. You can get a disease from that chick, not knowing what's going on. You think it's just some easy box to kill. In all actuality, it's going to set you up for life in a negative fashion. Just how negative wisdom can do that stuff if you hearken to it. Because so you can't listen to everybody that thinks they have wisdom just because they might read from the same Bible as you. All that type of stuff can lead you astray if you hearken to it. Mainly, like it's mainly talking about false doctrine, and obviously, that's what it's representing in Revelation, where the elect aren't going to be defiled, are they're not going to be but defiled with women because they're not succumbing to any of the doctrine that what the Most High predestined to believe in, which is the laws and believing in who world calls Christ, Yahushua. Let's skip ahead, actually. With her much fair speech, she calls him to yield. So she called him to yield, talking about made him pause on whatever he was doing and go to what she's doing. With the flattering of her lips, she forced him to do what? To go astray. He goeth after her straightway, as an ox goeth to the slaughter, or as a fool to the correction of the stocks. Meaning what? You're going to go get trapped down there. You trapped by what? Getting a woman pregnant, you don't want to get pregnant. You trapped by what? You know, you might get set up by a woman. That's an easy thing to do. They send a woman to do something, set them up, and the other people come behind her and rob you blind or kill you. That's how you go to the slaughter or go to the stocks, get locked away for some dumb stuff that you get set up with a woman by. Till a dart strike through his liver, as a bird hasteneth to the snare, and knoweth not that it is for his life. So you don't know it's for your life, following this wicked doctrine, which can come from any type of woman or a man, obviously. It's talking about, not coming to the proper wisdom. The wisdom that we got to hearken to. If somebody's coming into you with sweet words and, trying to be all subtle with you, like, making it easy, like that's the type of stuff that happens. But it says, and know if not that it's for your life. It's for your life, what direction you go. We might think we have a choice, but like I said, the Most High put a stumbling block in front of some people because he knows they're going to trip over it. But the elect, like it says in 144,000 in Revelation, they're not going to be defiled women. They're not going to go astray from what the Most High already saw fit for them to do. That's what it's talking about. Let's keep, is that it? Let's keep reading. Hearken unto me now, therefore, O ye children, and attend to the words of my mouth. So listen to the proper instructions. Let not thine heart decline to her ways. Go not astray in her paths. Don't go to that strange woman's paths. Don't go following wicked doctrine and foreign heathen customs, man. Don't do Christmas. Don't do pagan holidays. Simple as that. For she have cast down many wounded, period. Because it's for your life. If you're going to get wounded, it means you can't walk up straight. You can't continue on the path that you want to go down. Because it might scar you mentally. It might scar you physically. It might set you back from years. It might set you back financially. Yea, many strong men have been slain by her. Why? Because you hearkened to her. You listened to her. You thought she was fine as hell, but in all actuality, she was a deep ditch. Like it says, a whore is a deep ditch. It says that, and I think it's SICARII. Or something might be in Proverbs. Either way, it says a whore is a deep ditch, regardless. You can't get out of a ditch, right, without somebody's help. But guess what? If she don't tell nobody to go help you, you're going to be stuck there. Her house is a way to hell, going down to the chambers of death, period. Hearken unto a wicked person, letting them lead you astray. It's a sad story, man. And the Most High, like I said, has people down that path every day if you're not in his hands, if you're not protected, if you're not doing what you need to do. Let's keep reading Revelation 14. So let's read that part again. These are they which were not. Am I sharing my screen? Yeah, okay. Delhi, yeah, exactly. Brothers think it's just easy. They just want to get some box, like it's all they care about. They just want to get some clout and cool points from people that don't give a damn about them. Like a lot of people, take pride in, having sex with all these different women and all this other stuff, when that's not even the focal point of life, man. What the hell? It's a lot. Let's keep going. These are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth. These were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits unto God and to the Lamb. Meaning what? They were predestined to be the elect. And obviously the 1/3 is going to be compiled into this, not necessarily in the elect aspect, but there's the elect in reference to the temple aspect. The 1/3 are going to be part of the elect as well. And in their mouth was found no guile, for they are without fault before the throne of God. Meaning what? They're predestined to be holy, even though, like I said, nobody's going to be perfect until the new covenant. But the elect, where what they do in their life, the Most High is not going to impart sin upon them, because they are basically the ones that the closest to being perfect in this sense in their life, in their livelihood, before they become the elect in reference to just being in the glorified body and obviously being in the governmental aspect of the kingdom. So this is another precept. That's why I referenced it in this lesson. And this is what the elect are going to be basically going to be a part of in reference to just the thought process of why they're going to be found no guile in their mouth and they're without fault before the Most High. Why? 1 Timothy 2:5. For there is one God and one mediator between God and man, the man Christ Jesus. Meaning what? The elect are going to be on the righteous side of the walk, and the Most High is going to allow whatever they do as far as slip up and sin and things like that. It's going to be few and far between. But when they do sin, they're going to have a mediator to mediate and have that obviously that faith in the Yahushua. So you're going to go up to the Father, hey, don't worry about that. You know, and like I said, in Acts, it says it winked at our ignorance. That's how it's going to look at the elect in 1/3, because they're going to be without guile and without fault, because it's not going to count that in their livelihood. It's not talking about them being physical virgins. It's just talking about them not following different doctrines that the Most High didn't allow us to, so we didn't want us to follow. So let's keep going. Got a couple more verses. Romans 8:29. This is another one that the elect are going to be partaking to. Romans 8:29. For whom he did foreknow, who foreknew? The Most High. He also did predestinate. The Most High predestinated people to be what? To be conformed to the image of his Son. Who's his Son? Hamashiach Yahushua. That he might be the firstborn among many brethren. Period. So the elect are going to be the first fruits, as it says in Revelation 14. They're going to be conformed to the image of who the world calls Christ, meaning what? He's going to be their icon. It's going to be their go-to man, their example, like it says in 1 Peter. We're going to look to Yahushua as our example and follow that righteous step, because he's the one that obviously got the spiritual power and got the wisdom and understanding from the Most High, already having that spirit on him. But we got to earn it in our walk and be close to that walk as possible, looking at Yahushua as our example, like I said before. Being predestined, like I said, the only way we're going to maintain it is if we're a part of that predestination factor, meaning what? We have no free will. We can't go to the Yahushua on our own. Actually, let me get that actually, because I don't have that. It's the part I wanted to add. I know it's in John. One second. Let me see. John. Is it John 5? Let me see. Salakia. Oh, I'm in the wrong one. I'm tripping. Oh, yeah, it's John 6. I knew it. I'm tripping. John 6. I was just a little early. John 6 and... Whoa. John... What the hell? John 6 and 44. Let me share my screen for this verse. John 6 and 44. No man can come to me except the Father which hath sent me draw him, and I will raise him up at the last day. So this is Yahushua speaking. No man can come to him except the Father which have sent me draw him. Meaning what? The Most High predestined people to go to the Most High, go to who the world calls Christ, accept him as the Savior, accept him as the Messiah, accept him as the future King of Israel, and obviously use him as the example, like I said before, to be somebody to follow, period. Let's go to the Greek. Shout out to the brother Deacon Akag Goyim. because he showed me this quite some time ago. But let's see here. Let's go to the word draw. Let's see what that's referencing in the Greek. And if you follow SICARII, I'm pretty sure you might have heard this before. But I'm just going to bring it out. Draw means to what? Greek word G1670, helko, to draw, drag off, to lead people, meaning what? The Most High is going to lead people to Yahushua. That's what it's talking about. You can't come to Yahushua unless the Most High drags you to him. You have no choice by being dragged, right? If somebody picks you up off your feet, you can't move in another direction, right? Unless somebody puts you down. That's how the Most High did it. He picked us up in the spirit, put us right in front of Yahushua for us to see him and accept him and, follow his steps, period. Let's go to the next chapter, or excuse me, the next precept. Let me share my screen again to the other tablet or tab. Only got a couple more verses. Revelation 13:7. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints, talking about what the beast, which is obviously, this is Revelation 13, talking about Babylon the Great, America. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints of the Israelites, and to overcome them, talking about us going into captivity. And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. America rules the world, as I said before, because the Most High set up the bases of men, rule the earth. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, talking about America's power. They all worship America, whether it's through their entertainment, their food, their money aspects, all that type of stuff. The American dream, people worship America for that particular concept, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb, slain from the foundation of the world. Meaning what? People are going to be worshiping America, whoever's a leader, whatever celebrities are in charge, they're going to worship whatever ideology they bring, because they're not written in the book of life, talking about what? Eventually he's talking about people, Israelites that are going to be the kingdom. Obviously, 2/3 of the Israelites are going to be put to death, and that's the next precept I'm going to get, because they're already predestined for that. They're not written in the book of life, because what? They're going to be 2/3. And what else does it say? Of the Lamb. The Lamb is who? The Yahushua, slain from the foundation of the world. So it was already predestined that Yahushua is going to be slain as soon as he was created, period. It was already predestined for the Most High to create him to be slain and be a sacrifice for the nation of Israel, for him to redeem us all thousands of years later, in reference to the Most High's will and plan for the nation of Israel, from going off all the way back from Egypt all the way up to now. Predestination all throughout the Bible, period. And this is the last verse I have. Zechariah 13:8, in reference to the 2/3. And it shall come to pass that in all the land is what? Talking about Babylon the Great. We can prove that. Saith the Yahweh, that 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die. It says that in all the land. It doesn't say the land is going to be cut off and die. It's talking about the people in the land, talking about the Israelites. 2/3 of Israel in America are going to be cut off and die by what? By thermonuclear destruction. But guess what? But the 1/3 shall be left therein. And I will bring the 3rd part, 1/3, through the fire, which is including the elect, and will refine them as silver is refined, and I will try them as gold is tried. So throughout the walk of the elect 1/3, until judgment day, until that nuclear destruction, we're going to be tried and chastised and tested on our faith and spirit through different people, different mechanisms, different turmoil, different like I said, the furnace of affliction. All that type of stuff is going to refine us and build us up spiritually to endure what's coming next, which is the Jacob's trouble, and also to test if we're going to be worthy of being saved out of this place from our enemies. And it says, and I will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, Yahweh, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people. And they shall say, Yahweh is my power, period. That's what we want. We want to be part of that number that gets brought through the fire, whether it's affliction, also through that second death aspect, which is thermonuclear destruction. We want to be taken up in them chariots. People call it the rapture, but that's not the rapture. People want to be taken up. The Israelites want to be taken up. The 1/3 and the elect want to be taken up when this place gets destroyed. That's why it says, let me go back to this actually. Revelation. Where is it at? So Revelation 11. Revelation 15, Salat. Revelation 15. Let me share this screen 1 second. Because people always want to talk about the rapture. They just want to touch on that just briefly with this precept. Because they say we're going to be caught up with God, where it says in 1 Thessalonians, we're going to be caught up with God in the hair. Like, all right, what's that talking about? And also said in 1 Corinthians 15, in the blinking of an eye, bodies are going to change. That's talking about the elect. Everybody's not going to be part of that. Only the 144,000. Obviously, the 1/3 going to be taken up. So let's read this. Revelation 15:1. And I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels having the 7 last plagues, for in them is filled up with the wrath of God. Verse 2. And I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire. What is that talking about? How is it a sea of glass mingled with fire? Does anybody know in the chat? I'll give y'all a minute to bring it out. I'll give y'all 1 more minute to respond. Kashab put a precept. But you have not honored the God who gives you the breath of life and controls your destiny. That's NLT. Yeah, that's a powerful point. Kashab, powerful point. All right. Delhi says a lake of fire. That is part of it. But what's the sea of glass? What's the sea of glass mingle with fire? Lake of fire is part of it for sure. But what's the sea of glass? And what does it mean when it says that? And I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, and then they had gotten the victory over the beast and over his image and over his mark and over the number of his name, stand on the sea of glass having the harps of God. Break that down. Matter of fact, you don't got to break it down, but let me know that part actually, because it's not that difficult. You're already on your way. I'm gonna give y'all 1 more minute. Kashab, come on, bro. You already know that, Kashab. All right, let me just go into it. I didn't need you to answer that. But anyways, it's all good. And I saw as if it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, talking about what? The elect are going to be taken up in the chariots above the firmament at the time of the destruction of Babylon the Great with them thermonuclear fire. So when they're going to be above the firmament, looking what? It says, standing, let me read the whole thing. And I saw it as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast and over his image and over his mark and over the number of his name stand on the sea of glass having the harps of God. Meaning what? The elect, the 1/3, going to be beamed up in the chariots. The chariots are going to take them up to the firmament. And they're going to be looking down at the firmament, looking at the destruction of America and all the fire that they see, the second death being created pretty much right then and there. Because why? They didn't conform to the image of the beast, the mark of the beast, and got the victory over the beast, obviously by being part of the elect, the 1/3. That's what it's talking about. And all this is predestination from the beginning of the earth that the Most High ordained. So that's pretty much all I got. There's other precepts I can think of, but I think that was, rounded out perfectly. That is the answer to my own question. Kashab gave it away for the most part. He might get some push-ups later, but no, I'm joking. I think somebody else had a question at the beginning of the class. Let me go here. Micah. Oops. Well, it's questions time, so yeah, everybody can answer questions. Yeah, Micah 4 and 5. I remember. Let's bring it up. Let's see. Micah 4 and 5. Share this screen. We're going to read it in different versions to see what it says, because this is a key thing. Micah 4 and 5. Let's start at the top. This is the end time connotation. Let's just start from the top. But in the last days it shall come to pass that the mountain of the house of the Lord shall be established in the top of the mountains, and it shall be exalted above the hills, and people shall flow unto it. And many nations shall come and say, Come and let us come and let us go to the mountain of Yahweh, and to the house of the God of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. And for the law shall go forth of Zion, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. And he shall judge among the people, and rebuke strong nations afar off, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up the sword against nation, neither shall they learn war any more, but they shall sit every man under his vine and under his fig tree, and none shall make them afraid, for the mouth of the Lord of hosts has spoken it. Obviously, this is talking about Israelites ruling the world at the end times, in the kingdom, nations coming up to us, learning from us. Obviously, we'll be in the new covenant, they won't. That's a precept to that. Verse 5, for all people will walk, everyone in the name of his God, and we will walk in the name of Yahweh our God forever and ever. Meaning what? These nations at this time, they're going to be used to serving idols. They're used to their own idols at this time. But that's why it says in Isaiah, well, let me jump there yet. Let's read another version, actually. Let's read another version. Micah 4 and 5, let's get the NLT. Though the nations around us follow their idols, we will follow the Lord our God forever and ever. Meaning what? The nations, like I said, all they know is idolatry. The Most High set them up from the beginning, and I think it's in Deuteronomy 32 and 8. Oh, that's not it. Let me go here. Deuteronomy 32 and 8, and let's read it in the NOT as well. I believe so. Let's double check. No, this isn't it. Is it an NIV? Let me double check. This is the version that says it. Let me see. Where is it at? Matter of fact, it might be the GNT. Am I tripping? What version is that in Kashab where it talks about them having their own gods? It's a lot. Let me see something real quick. Let me go here. No, that's not it either. What the hell? Well, basically, so like, I don't mean to get off track. Basically, when it goes back to Micah 4 and 5, though the nations around us follow their idols, we will follow the Lord of God forever and ever. Meaning what? Nations are already set up to have idols as their gods. You know, even though let's say there's multiple other gods in heaven, meaning deities that the other nations follow. That's all it's talking about. Even though it says, let me go to the KJV. As a matter of fact, what the hell? like I said, they're going to come to our kingdom, or excuse me, to our land and learn the ways of the Lord. They're still going to have idols in reference to them worshiping, because that's what they're used to. Bruce Mega, yeah, you're a little late, I believe, but yeah, no, they're not going to have their own gods at that time. Like I said, we're gonna, like I said, whoever don't conform to our ways, they're going to die and perish. So of course they're not going to be able to do this in the kingdom. Of course not. And it also can it also can reference, God being whatever rulers in that fashion as well. But this is talking about them already having idols in their land, but we're going to follow the Most High no matter whatever state we're in. But like I said, this is kingdom connotation, and they're definitely not going to be serving idols in the kingdom at all. Let me go here. Where is it at? Isaiah. That's what I wanted to get. I should have went here first actually, but I wanted to get another version. Find the one Deuteronomy. Isaiah 60. Oh, let me share my screen. Isaiah 60. And okay, yeah. Isaiah 60 and 12. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yeah, those nations shall be utterly wasted. So of course they're not going to follow other deities in the kingdom. All that's going to be, put away. And if they don't want to get down, if they still want to serve idols, they're going to die. Period. So Mike is referencing, okay, well, they have idols already, but we're going to serve the Most High through and through. And like I said, even if they do want to do that, even though they're not going to, they're going to perish for going against the grain. So no. Hopefully that was what's the word? A suffice answer for the brother. Because I actually had that question as well when I read that. That's a good question. Any other questions? Any other questions? I'll give y'all another 4 minutes before I close out. Oh man, I just realized I had an Ephraimite symbol on my stuff. That's not what I want, but it's all good. Any other questions? 3 minutes left. I thought got jokes. Look at this retard. You are the children of Ham. Stop hijacking other people's cultures. I mean, if you were a real account, I mean, I would take you seriously, but even the information that you're spewing is rhetoric. White people steal everybody's culture. True or false? Hunter. Damn devil. Yeah, I believe that too, Ithon. We're the children of Ham. Yeah, right. This guy don't know a damn thing. Who are the white people? Who do white people come from, Hunter? Can you answer that? Who's your forefather, Hunter, in the Bible? I would love to know. And then I can educate you on that. Stop hijacking other people's cultures. You don't knock it off. This nigga don't know about his white heritage. We come from Japheth. You come from Canaan. Prove white people come from Japheth, please. Please prove white people come from Japheth. I would love for you to prove that and prove how we come from Canaan. Thanks. Watch how I cut him real quick. Watch me pull up his archaeology. Dude don't know a damn thing. He don't know a damn thing. Oh man. Let's look up the history of the ancient Greeks. Ooh wee. Let's go here. Let's go here. Did he say anything? Is Genesis 10, Ezekiel 38? Genesis 10? What about Genesis 10 proves you're a Japhite? So are you telling me white people, Japheth, the man Japheth was white? Can you prove Japheth, the son of Noah, was white? Go back to Africa. Was Japheth in Africa ever? This dude's a retard. Ezekiel 38. Oh man. I would love for him to go. Can you come on this live stream? Let me see if I can share the link. Let me share the link to Hunter. See if he wants to go live. Here goes the link, Hunter. How about you click the link and let's talk about it? That'd be great. Let's get into a nice debate before I sign off. Hunter, where are you? Hunter. Can we come to an understanding on that? Let me share my screen for this idiot. Let's see who the original Greeks were. Let's see. Let's go here. What did he say? That's the understanding? You didn't prove anything. All you said was Genesis 10, Ezekiel 38, and that Javin's from Greece. Let's see what this says. You retard. Young boxers with long dreadlocks depicted on a fresco from a Akatori, modern Santorini, Greece, 1600 to 1500 BC. How long ago was that, Hunter? If anything, of course we come from Shem. Hunter, can you show me white people here? Are these white people from Santorini, Greece? Isn't Greece where quote unquote Javan comes from? How come these aren't white people? These are melanated people. 1600 BCE. This is before Israel even left Egypt. So where do white people come from? These aren't white people. This is archaeology, not just a verse that you try to say that you guys correlate to. No, it's not what it's talking about. These are not white people. Hunter McKee, Javan is in Greece, but it wasn't you. It's these people that you're looking at. You know who the real Greeks are? Now, these aren't Asians, A-Train. These definitely not Asians. The original Japhites are who? The quote-unquote Samoans, Tongans, Cambodians, Laotians, the dark-skinned Southeast Asians, the people that got ran out of Greece when Alexander and them conquered. That's what happened. You guys weren't in Greece 3,000 years ago. Are you kidding me? You guys are what's the word I'm looking for? White people are fucking science projects, essentially. You're a new thing in the earth. That's why you guys came out red all over like a hairy garment, like it's in Genesis. You guys are Edomites. Hunter McKee is an Edomite. Acting like he's a Japhite. You kidding me? Even if you were a Japhite, doesn't mean anything. You're still going into slavery. You're still going to be subjugated by the Israelites. All that changes is if you want to hold the argument that you're a Japhite, all that changes is that you're not going to be exterminated. But we know the truth. Edomites are white people. Hunter McKee is a damn heathen. He's a damn Edomite, and he's pushing the same doctrine that the Edomites created. You can't show me any archaeology of no damn white person at this time frame in Greece ever. All them busts that you see of them great generals and things like that, of Caesar, whatever the case may be, all that came after they whitewashed everything in iconoclasm after they took over. And that happened way later because black people ruled Europe, not no damn crackers at one point in time. White people whitewashed everything in the 1400s, 1400 AD, 600 years ago. That's when they did it. This is 2,000 years before that, 3,000 years before that, actually. Because 1,600 plus 1,400 is 3,000. 3,000 years ago, these are the original people of Greece, not no damn white person. Where'd Hunter go? Didn't I send the link in there? Why do you want to click the link? Let's go to Ezekiel 38, actually. Let me go there since you want to bring that up before I get off. Since you want to bring up that madness. I know exactly what he's talking about. Let's read it. And then let's read the precept to it and see what it's talking about. Ezekiel 38, and let's start at... I don't even know why he went here. This is retarded. I'm going to just cut his ass right here. Let's go here. Ezekiel 38 and... So let me share the screen real fast. Let's go to Ezekiel 38 and start at... I mean, this whole chapter is about Gog and Magog. And this is a future prophecy, obviously. So you mean to tell me that people at Gog and Magog or that live there now are Japhites? No, those are Edomites. They're white people just like them fake Jews, just like the white people in America. It was just the same. So you mean to tell me the white people in America are Japheth too? No. Doesn't make no goddamn sense. But let's just read this. Matter of fact, I want Ezekiel 28. That's what I want. I don't know where he was going to go in here. This is a future prophecy that doesn't pertain to anybody. Well, it doesn't pertain to him. That's in that regard. Ezekiel 28. That's what I want. Man, he disappeared quick when I sent the link in. That's crazy. Is he still here? I think he's still here. But he probably just scared to click the link. Ezekiel 28. Let's go to verse 14. Um, mm, is that what I want? Ezekiel 28. So like I'm tripping. Ezekiel 27. That's what I want. Ezekiel 27. And let's start at verse 12. Tarshish was thy merchant. Talking about who? Let's go here. Tyrese. Talking about the actual Canaanites. Tarshish was thy merchant. By reason of the multitude of all kind of riches, with silver, iron, tin, and lead, they traded in thy fairs. Javan, Tubal, and Meshach, they were thy merchants. They what? They traded the persons of men and vessels of brass in thy market. So Canaanites sold persons of men, talking about who? The Israelites, in their markets, in the slave trade. But guess what? There's a precept to it. Let's go here. Joel chapter 3 and verse 4. Similar prophecy about the same people. Let's go here. For this idiot hunter talking about that Javin comes from Greece, which is true, but who are the people of Javin? Let's go here. Yea, and whatever you have to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coast of Palestine, will you render me a recompense, and if you recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head, because you have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things. The children of Judah, the children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold into the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their border. So, white people are Grecians, as you would say. Cool. It also says what? Ezekiel 28 or Ezekiel 27, that the Canaanites sold persons of men to Japhites. When did that happen in history? Japhites are white people. So when did that happen in history? In the slave trade, right? But wait a minute. Are white people, like I said, the original people of Europe? Of course they're not. I just showed the proof. What does that mean for the history aspect? White people assumed the identity of ancient Greeks after they took over with Alexander, like I said before. That's what it's talking about. Ain't no damn white person, no damn Japhite. That's crazy. But anyways, yeah, where'd Buddy go, man? Where'd Hunter go? That buddy ran like Speedy Gonzalez, man. Crazy. As soon as I tell him to click the link, that boy disappeared. Magic trick. How about I go back to Africa? What are you talking about? Why don't you go back to the Caucasus Mountains, you damn devil? 1 Kings 20 and 35. Yeah, I mean, people believe that though. Israelites that believe that the white man is Japheth and Esau is an Arab. Madness. It's utter madness. But 1 Kings 20 and 35. And a certain man of the sons of the prophet said unto his neighbor in the word of the Lord, smite me, I pray thee. And the man refused to smite him. Then said he unto him, because thou hast not obeyed the voice of the Lord, behold, as soon as thou art departed from me, a lion shall slay thee. And as soon as he was departed from him, a lion found him and slew him. What's your question about that? Who asked that question? Ecclesiastes. Oh, 35 to 43. Let me keep reading then. Then he found another man and said, "Smite me, I pray thee." And the man smote him, so that in smiting he wounded him. So the prophet departed and waited for the king by the way and disguised himself with ashes upon his face. And as the king passed by, he cried unto the king, and he said, "Thy servant went out into the midst of the battle, and behold, a man turned aside and brought a man unto me, and said, Keep this man. If by any means he be missing, then shall thy life be for his life, or else thou shalt pay a talent of silver. And as thy servant was busy here and there, he was gone. And the king of Israel said unto him, So shall thy judgment be, thyself has decided it. And he hasted and took the ashes away from his face, and the king of Israel discerned him that he was one of the prophets. And he said unto him, Thus saith the Lord, because thou hast let go out of thy hand the man whom I appointed to utter destruction, therefore thy life shall go for his life, and thy people for his people. And the king of Israel went to his house heavy and displeased, and came to Samaria. What's your question? I vaguely remember the story. I remember reading this story, but what's your question about that story? Ah, man. No, this isn't a prophecy. It's a prophecy about what happens to this particular man. Well, actually, it's not a prophecy. Let me see. It doesn't say a prophecy here. It doesn't say, Thus saith the Lord. It just says, So the son of the prophet came unto his neighbor in the word of the Lord, Smite me, I pray thee. No, this isn't a prophecy. This is just something that happened to a particular person in this time. This isn't a prophecy. Yeah, I'm logged in on Clubhouse, but I ain't paying attention to it right now. I was about to log out until Hunter got on, so yeah, I'm on both for y'all. Easy. Yeah, like I said, it says the sons of the prophet came unto him, and he asked somebody to kill him because obviously when you read down here, the king was basically trying to use this person. He was like, "Nah, I'm gonna get up out of here." The king of Israel, Northern Kingdom, said it, and that's why he says when the dude hit himself and put ashes on his face, and he took the ashes off. He's like, "Oh, you're one of the prophets," because he was supposed to keep somebody else along the way that he wanted. Let me go back up because it's about. Let me see. Where is it at? Oops. Why did I do that? So like I was just reading it over a little bit. I don't know if Hunter's in here. I can't see if he's in here or not. At least I don't think. Can I see who's in here? Oh, let me see who's in here. I gotta go to. No, I can't see who's in here on here. Oh well. But yeah, that's just a story ultimately, Ecclesiastes, Salakia. It's not a prophecy of anything in particular, except for him saying he's gonna be killed by a lion, which he did. Well, I know he ran off. He's a retard. But yeah. I already brought out the archaeology on him, which cut his head off. But anyways, I'm gonna give y'all 2 more minutes before I close out. Then I'm gonna go back on Clubhouse. Lord willing. Khan Rapper, all praise to the Most High. This was a similar topic to what you're talking about today on Clubhouse with the Spirit. You know? All right, 1 minute left, and I'm gonna close out this G thing. Let me get this retard off the screen. I don't know how to do that. How do I take his comment off? If there's no free will, how do we come to piss off the Most High, and why would he make himself angry with us? He didn't make himself angry with us. If you were listening to the whole dialogue or the whole lesson, he already set it up that way. Let me go back here. I already had it in my lesson. He didn't make himself angry with anybody. He's still gonna be mad at his creation going against the grain. But let's go here. What did I say? Oh yeah. How do we come to piss off the Most High? Let's go here first. I brought this out earlier. Deuteronomy 30. This is the perfect precept to show there's no free will. I know it's all good, Judah. Like I said, the book of Jasher is fire. It's for firewood, for emergency purposes. If you're ever cold, no power, you need a fire starter. Jasher is the fire starter, just like Enoch, just like Jubilees, all that type of madness. So yeah, Jasher is not it. Pseudo white people wrote it, and it's not for us. Let's go to Deuteronomy 30. And it shall come to pass when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse, which I have set before thee. So let's just break that down. All praises, A-Train. All praise to the Most High. Share the video to your friends, man. That's what we're here for. All the information is for everybody that don't know no better. And it's for Black and Hispanic and Native Americans. You feel me? So if you got Black friends, Hispanic friends that are Native Indigenous people, share this information. Not just this video, but just all the Israelite videos. But that's a question I have for Judah. We were in the wilderness at this time, and Yahweh already said all these things are going to come to pass already, the blessing and the curse. So we were already destined to be cursed. So he didn't force himself to become angry. Obviously, in the moment, he's angry because we're doing what we weren't supposed to be doing. But he already knew we were going to do that. You know? We were going to go through blessings and curses. And let's keep reading. Which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations where the Lord thy God have driven thee. So it's already destined we're going to be scattered before we even get into our own kingdom. So of course we were already destined for slavery in a sense, because the Most High set it up that way. Just like Rob Paul said, he declared the end from the beginning. That was the first scripture I ever read in this whole lesson. So that's just, like I said, just a basic information. Can you delve into goddess worship and how to destroy it? I notice a lot of our women are conditioned to view themselves as above the Most High. I mean, I don't think they view themselves as above the Most High, because that's impossible. I just think they view themselves, in a societal framework, thinking that they're above men in a sense, because they might look good or have money or things like that. But in reference to their deity, they're not goddesses at all. Like, they bleed. Like, come on now, goddesses bleed once a month, and like, nah, no offense, that's the curse the Most High put on them, but that's just common sense. Like, you can't. Goddesses, quote unquote, need gods above them. Just how the Most High set it up. There's like men are gods. There's like women are under them as the princesses under them. They can think what they want, but at the end of the day, it says what the women are the weaker vessels, physically, emotionally. Like I said, some women are stronger than some men emotionally in reference to that. But the physical aspect, most men are stronger than women. Most men are more emotionally stable than women. Finances can go either way. Like I said, emotions can go either way in some aspects. But goddess worship, I'm not sure about them worshiping goddesses. Like, goddess worship means like they're like into idolatry. So they could be, like I said, depending on who they look to, like the Egyptology aspect. So just the simple fact that they think of themselves as queens and goddesses, I mean, that's not necessarily the worst thing that can happen, but that ideology doesn't put them in a humble spirit where they need to be, like I said, in a spirit of being subject to a man that they might come across, thinking they're high and mighty, is going to have them thinking like a man, like it says in the movie, but it's ultimately going to breed imbalance in a relationship unless you get a weak, like you call it, a beta male, and that's not going to be a healthy relationship. They're going to run all over them, things like that. Obviously, there's compromise in relationships and sacrifices, but ultimately, the man's the leader. He's supposed to be guiding their steps, and obviously, if they have that goddess mentality, that's not somebody that anybody as there's like that goes to the doctrine of the Bible should hearken to, because that's why it says this in Isaiah the 3rd chapter. Where we at? Oh, let me go to Isaiah the 3rd chapter. I'm trying to close out. Now y'all coming with some cool questions. It's all good though. Isaiah. I recently took in a crackhead prostitute and she was wearing an Eye of Horus necklace. Is that idolatry, and should I be scared and remove her from my home? Appreciate the edification. Listen, the Eye of Horus does represent an Egyptian deity. Is it an idol? I would say so, because obviously they're holding to that ideology of Kemet and things like that. Should you be scared? No. Why should you be scared? I'm not sure what being scared was. I don't know why. Wait a minute. Why'd you bring in a prostitute? Like, why would you do that? What's the point of bringing in a prostitute? You trying to conform her or change her? Or are you a pimp? Like, what's going on, bro? I mean, I definitely wouldn't taking a crackhead prostitute. That's just common sense. No funny shit. Don't bring in no crackhead prostitute in your house that you don't trust, you don't know. That don't make no damn sense, brother. Paul of Taurus, did he corrupt Jesus' mission? What do you mean? Paul of Taurus? Who's Paul of Taurus? You mean Paul of Tarshish? He didn't corrupt Jesus' mission at all. He did his part in what Yahushua told him to do. which go into the Israelite foreigners in different Greece and Roman provinces and introduce them to Christ pretty much, and introduce them to their ancient heritage, slowly but surely in the spiritual aspect. Rapal, I don't know what's going on, bro. That was, kind of a weird comment, but the brother said he brought in a crackhead prostitute wearing the eye of Horus. You shouldn't be scared. You should be scared if you sleep with her. Prostitutes are not who you're supposed to be sleeping with, especially a crackhead. She might have all type of diseases and things like that. That's just ridiculous, brother. So, I'm waiting for his brother to respond. You saw her outside your apartment, asked for a glass of water. When she came in, I attempted to turn her to the law, and she started going off. What do I do? Go tell her to go back on the streets. It might sound harsh, but like I said, let me read this. Let me read this for you. Let's just go to the Apocrypha, Salat. No, I'm not ending the stream now, A-Train. I'm talking to this brother right now. I'm answering his question. Is it the whole Bible? Just what do you mean? Revelation 20. Oh, you're talking about adding to the word or taking away from the word? In particular, that's talking about Revelation. But Deuteronomy 4 says the same thing, but it's only talking about the law. So, let me see. Yeah, I mean, you said you took her in like she lives with you now. Don't do that. I'm trying to find that precept on that actually, because that's not smart, brother. She can set you up for failure, bring people into your house and whatnot. Steal your stuff, all that type of stuff. Crackheads aren't trustworthy, brother. Neither are prostitutes. You can tell her about the law every time you see her, but don't take her in your house and try to have her live with you. That's what I'm telling you. If she sobers up, let her on the line and cleans her act up, then hey. Sirach 11. Let's pull this up. Sirach. Sirach 11. And let's go to verse 29. Exactly. You can't bring anybody else in your house like that. And this is exactly what the Bible says right here. Let me bring it up. Sirach 11 and 29. Bring not every man into thine house, for the deceitful man have many trains. What is that talking about? When you read this in the GNT, let me get it in GNT actually. Sirach 11, 29 GNT. Be careful about the kind of person you invite into your home, because clever people can fool you in many ways. Period, man. That's what it's talking about. You can get fooled by somebody claiming to be some, claiming to change, whatever the case may be. You can't bring anybody into your house. You can't just trust everybody that easily just because they're Israelite. You can help them out all you want. Like I said, every time you see her, give her some wisdom, give her a gem, drop a gem, give her a sandwich, whatever, a couple of dollars. But you can't assist her with being a crackhead. You can't give her money to buy dope and get her from A to B to be a hoe. That doesn't make no damn sense. King, that's just common sense, brother. She tell you that after commandments and God's a woman, she's a bug out. You rebuke her and keep it moving. That's pretty much how it works. Like I said, she probably got demons on her. She's on the left hand side of her in her mind. All you can do is pray for her. If you want to give her water, that's fine. But you can't be arguing with somebody bugged the hell out like that. Let me read the last verse. Sirach 11 and 33. Watch out for such people and their evil plans. They will ruin you permanently. Verse 34. If you bring a stranger home with you, it will only cause trouble, even between you and your own family. It's not smart to bring people into your house that you don't know. They might be affiliated with somebody. That may be a different story because you know them through somebody else, and you might be helping out a friend. But a random stranger that's on crack and prostitutes, like, that's not smart. You can invite them in, whatever the case may be, once or twice. But when she starts saying F what you talking about, and she ain't trying to change or hear you out, at least give it a deuces, my brother. That's pretty much how it works. That's just common sense to me. You throw it. How long she been with you, bro? King, how long she been living with you, bro? That's crazy. You move this chick in, she causing that type of trouble, but come on, bro. You've been in the truth only 6 months. Yeah, you shouldn't be inviting no strangers in your house. Throw her stuff out, brother. Period. Tell her to kick rocks. It's not your woman, is it? Of course she can't do anything legally. What's she gonna do legally? She don't got no money. She probably don't even know what's going on. She on crack. Since Monday, and today's Thursday. Oh yeah, get her up out of there ASAP. Tell her her weekly stay is up. 11 a.m. checkout. Yahweh made the other nations more wicked than us. Is it not the reason we will be saved? Not because of our righteousness at all. We're going to be saved because of the promise he made to Abraham. No other purpose. That's how the Most High set it up all the way from Abraham till now. Our people are going to be blessed and above all nations based on the promise he made to Abraham, not for our keeping the law and faith. But obviously that's the concept in this time, because obviously we have a duty to still be in the covenant that he promised us, which is a covenant based on the Abrahamic promise. So we still got to do that, but we will be saved based on the promise through Abraham's work and faith that he did. So yeah, we're definitely wicked. We have become more wicked than the heathens, but we're still more holy than the heathens because of our foundation and keeping the laws and having the laws. Yeah, I'm pretty sure when it went out the other. It ain't for the Most High. It ain't up to you to have her receive the information. It's up to the Most High. But having her move in, like that's a whole different ball game, bro. You have to get her up out of there ASAP. Of course, we're under grace. We're under grace because we're under the jurisdiction of the law in Israel. We have to keep the law, but we're not under the law, meaning we don't get judged by the laws or the sins that we break because we're not in Israel. We don't have the system of judgment set up by the Levites, even though the Most High can judge us whenever he feels like it. If somebody commits adultery on you, nobody's going to put him to death because we're in America. We can't do that. That's where the grace comes in. But the Most High still can judge that person. We're not going to be able to judge him because we're not in Israel under that Levitical law, where we can enact that judgment in a sense. We're under the Levitical law, but we're not under the law in reference to us performing out the judgments of it and the statutes of it. Only the Most High can judge us at this time in reference to how we act and what works we perform. Of course, we reverse the righteous acts. Ayanda bar. People get that misconstrued all the time, telling us we're under grace. We're under grace because we're not in Israel. If we were in Israel, things would be a lot different. But Yahweh Shai, like I said, brought the grace because he wants us to get better and not just be fearful of everything we do. And that's how we walk in the faith more. Okay, well, I know I can get better because I had a chance to bounce back and repent for my sins instead of just being judged immediately for them. You're Canadian. I mean, that's not a problem with being nice but naive is different. Don't be naive. Um, I don't know where Halifax is, brother. We definitely at SICARII Toronto though. Shout out to them powerful brothers. How far is Halifax from Toronto? Because I definitely don't know where that's at. I'm out here in Cali, brother. Well, not necessarily break build, but break bread and build. If we were in Israel, yeah, we more than likely be dead for a lot of things we used to do. But everything is not worthy of death either. You know, adultery, breaking the Sabbath, idolatry. Those are things worthy of death. Everything's not worthy of death, but definitely the culmination of sins. The Most High can put us to death for certain things. You know. But I'm about to close out in a little bit. You got a minute, 2 minutes, maybe. Can people repent from intentional sin? I mean, of course you can. The Most High ain't gonna judge you immediately, but it's up to the Most High to judge you accordingly. Like I said, He can judge you later on down the line, even though you repent from it. Obviously, the Most High knows the reins of our hearts and things like that. So as long as it ain't sin worthy of death, and obviously you can repent, even though it might be sin worthy of death. We're not being judged immediately for everything, like I said, but the Most High can judge you any time of the day, for anything that you've done, even intentional sin. But is the Most High going to forgive you? Hey, only the Most High knows. Way East Coast on the tip. East Coast in reference to what, like New York, above Buffalo or type stuff, or what? Conrad Ball. I just heard a little bit. I had the phone up open. I heard him close out, so it's all good. But anyway, like I said, brother, all you gotta do, hit up our email. Let me put it in the chat. That is our email on the screen. For any information, if you want to join SICARII, do the work under our banner, that's the email to hit up. We have courses you can go ahead and take and then join in that fashion. Like I said, if you want to do the work by yourself, obviously you got to be at a certain rank, but learning under us, is not a problem until you get to that point. Khan, all praise Most High, Nova, Shalom. All praises they train Thawada. Delhi, I live in Sacramento. Yeah, but we hold camp in San Francisco. I'm in Sacramento right now. All praises, break bread. All praise to the Most High. Thawada for tuning in, brother. Shalom, Rapal. It's all good. I would, but Rayeba Bangad said y'all are Masons, so Deacon wears a dress. I mean, Rayeba can say whatever he wants. He's acting like a woman scorned, so I'm not too worried about Rayeba. We love that brother, but hey, if he can prove Deacon wears dresses, I would love to see it, because he's definitely been lying on the elders for quite some time. I'm in the north, pretty much, Delhi. I'm over here by Arden, pretty much, Arden Mall. But I work in the Bay, though. That's why I'm always in the Bay. I work in San Francisco, so I'm always out there, and we hold camp out there with the other Akim. But I live in Sac. I'll answer questions as long as y'all asking them. Nova, it's all good, man. Is this a vision given from Yahweh? No, it's not a vision. It's a prophecy. That's a prophecy of what's going to happen. In John, what are you talking about? You posted Revelation talking about is it a vision in John? What John verse are you referencing? Shalom, Delhi. Yehuda ben Israel of Phopaz, picture of Deacon wearing Masonic apparel. Like I said, I would love to see it. All them people are irrelevant. They don't hit the streets. They go live and run their mouth all day. So nobody cares about them. Deacon's not a Mason. Alazar's not a Mason. Doesn't make any sense. Like that. What good does that do? What does a Mason do for anybody in the truth? Even out of the truth. Like, who knows? What makes Deacon a Mason? Is it something that he wore that they think is Masonic attire? What do Masons wear? That's what I want to know. Because I'm familiar with the Masonic, stuff like that, but nobody in SICARII is a Mason. In John? What do you mean in John, though? That's a prophecy in Revelation. John wrote it. So you got to be more specific with the question, man. I'll give you all 5 minutes. 3 minutes, actually. And then we up out of here. I got to edit some videos for the channel, easy. But I brought that verse out earlier. That's the prophecy about Yahushua being created to be the sacrifice of the nation of Israel from the beginning. Not in John 2 John. I don't know what you're referencing. John wrote Revelation. That's what basically what happened. I don't know what you're talking about, but you got to be more specific because you're confusing me now. You wanted to bring that out and say Adam had free will? Of course he didn't have free will. I got a precept on that actually. Second Ezra's 4. Second Ezra's 4 and 30. Let's pull that up. See what it says. See if Adam had free will. Where's it at? Second Ezra's 4. Share my screen. Second Ezra's 4 and 30. For the grain of evil seed hath been sown in the heart of Adam from the beginning. And how much ungodliness hath it brought up unto this time, and how much shall it yet bring forth till the time of the threshing come? So Adam had the seed of evil sown in his heart from the beginning, period. Meaning he didn't have free will. He didn't, quote unquote, eat the fruit with Eve because she convinced him to do it. No. Yahweh already set it up for them to go off so Yahweh Shai can come later on down the line and be the savior of the nation of Israel, who are the chosen people in this time frame. That time frame, Adam was a chosen amongst his Adamite nation. So it's just plain. It's plain right there in the Bible. Is the tribe of Judah in Jamaica? I mean, they could be. We're scattered everywhere. So there's Levites everywhere. There's Gadites everywhere. There's, Naphtalites, Simeonites, Ephraimites. If a Judite moves to Jamaica, are the Judites there? Yeah, of course. So, that's just common sense. But y'all got a couple more minutes. Shalom, Akia. 1 Corinthians 10 and 10. Destroyed are the destroyers, one of the angels, of course. I believe this is talking about when they murmured against Moses in the wilderness. So one of the angels did it. So yeah, I got like 2 minutes left, or 1 minute left. Did I even read that? I don't even know if I read it. Salakia. I just read it and responded. Let me share my screen. Salakia, I'm over here. I just read it. 1 Corinthians 10 and 10. Neither murmur ye as some of them also murmured and were destroyed of the destroyer. So, like I said, verse 9, neither let us tempt Christ as some of them also tempted and were destroyed of serpents. Talking about the wilderness. Neither murmur ye as some of them also murmured and were destroyed of the destroyer. It's referring to what happened in the wilderness, because obviously the whole context of chapter 10 is referring to what? We all passed under the cloud and passed through the sea in the wilderness with Moses. That's what it's referring to at the top of the chapter. So it's all referring to what happened to in the wilderness. So it's all good. Shalom, King Faithums. It's all good, brother. All praise to the Most High. Khan. And with that, I'm gonna close out. Give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Mashiach Yahushai, and say Shalom, man. Tune into SICARII San Francisco, late night love every Thursday, 9 o'clock p.m. or later. You know, I'm going live every week through the Spirit, Lord willing, you know. And we have different topics, different subjects, different things we're going to bring out, different lessons, you know. Try to invite somebody on today. They didn't want to come on, but it is what it is. But either way, we're going to get this word out on the streets, online, wherever the Most High sees fit, till this place comes crumbling down like the walls of Jericho, you feel me? But like I said, call hello Yahweh by Shem HaMashiach Yahushai, and Shalom, man.